It has become common for shoppers to comparison shop using the internet. In a survey, respondents who owned cell phones were asked whether they had, in the past 30 days, looked up the price of a product while they were in a store to see if they could get a better price somewhere else. The table has responses grouped by income level. Complete parts A through C below. So part A, what percent of those earning less than 30,000 cyber comparison shop? And then the second part of part A, what percent of those earning more than 75,000 do? So when it says what percent of those less than 30,000 comparison shop, we're only focusing on these guys right here. So we're just focused on this one column, less than $30,000. And so we're just going to do 210 divided by the sum of this. So 210 divided by 835. Which is about 25.2 percentage, if I round that right. The next part reads about how many percent of the people earning more than 75,000 comparison shop. So here's more. So we're going to do 210 divided by, happens to be the same number that says yes, divided by that sum, in this case 625. So one way we can do this, if we want to analyze a bunch of these, is we can open this up in Excel. So click this little button here, open Excel. You could do StatCrunch, but this is an instance where I think Excel is a little bit easier. So click Open in Excel, and it'll download the data. Okay, once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and pull this over. Let's go ahead and create our total column and row. So just give it a title total, and then we're going to put equals and put my formula in. Sum, and I'm going to sum these values here, those cells. And I select that and I can copy it down. And I can do the same thing for the columns. Put the equals and then SUM. Then select my two cells, B2 through B3. And then I can click that and left click and just drag these over, and we'll copy all those. And now I have all my total figures already figured here, right? So I've got 210 divided by 835, 210 divided by 625. Not that big a deal on this one. We only had a couple of different rows, but sometimes if you can have a lot of these, you can see where this will be really helpful. So now it's asking what percent of those who cyber comparison shop earn less than 30,000. So now we're looking at, and let me use my Excel version here. I'm looking at this row right here. So when we're only looking at that row, what percent of those who cyber comparison shop, so of those who have yes to this, what percent of those cyber comparison shop that earn less than 30,000? So I'm only looking at this one cell here, 210 divided by 661 in this case. And we get 31.8%. So in part C, it says, is it reasonable to assume that 28% of all shoppers use their phones to cyber comparison shop? Why or why not? So where did they get that 28%? If you look at the total and just do the 661 over 2357, you get about 28%. But is that reasonable for all shoppers? Well, we see there's quite a difference between these groups, right? We have the 25%, those that make less than 30,000 versus almost 34% that make over 75,000. So no, because the sample is probably not representative of the population of all shoppers. So I hope that helped.